this phenomenon that happens when you start planning a Disney vacation. Whether you tell people or not, there somehow seems to be everyone who comes out of the woodwork who has an opinion on your vacation. But you need to remember it's your vacation, and the person who, albeit might be trying to help you and it might be coming from a great place, they might not know what they're talking about. And so here are some of the worst pieces of advice my travelers have come to me and told me someone has told them and what to do instead.
I'm Christina. I'm a traveler, a planner, and most importantly, a mom. I'm sharing my best tips to make traveling as a family a little less stressful. So put down your phone, pack your bags, and let's showcase the world.
So someone finds out you're going to Walt Disney World. You didn't tell them. They just found out. Who knows how. And it's just, you have to. You have to do this. You have to do that. You have to do this. And it's really important to know that there really is no have-tos. There really is no best. There is no worst. There's just who it was meant for. My name's Christina. I've been planning Disney vacations for 8 years. I'm the owner of Showcase the World Travel, a modern travel agency dedicated to helping families take a break from the busy and actually enjoy their vacation. And one of the things about enjoying your vacation is making sure it's planned for you. And like I said, I've planned hundreds of vacations, and one of the things that I try to do is really get to know you so that we can pair you with the right experience. Because there is no best resort. There is no best ride. There is no best restaurant. One of the things I hear the most is that you must eat in Cinderella's castle. You have to. You have to eat in Cinderella's castle. It's a cool experience. You get to go up, you get to be in the castle, but it's in a room that is a little dingy. The food is really expensive and not very good, and the character interactions are so much better in other locations. So for me, it's not a must-do. For me, it's not that magical experience. That doesn't mean that it's not going to be a magical experience for you or that it's a highlight of your trip. We just need to figure out what is important to you and then plan your trip accordingly. Okay, so let's jump into the advice. Animal Kingdom is just a zoo. That could not be further from the truth. I don't know about you, but my local zoo doesn't have a safari that's the biggest. The size of the island of Manhattan. It is incredible to be able to see these animals in natural looking habitats. Obviously they're not natural habitats, but they feel a little bit more natural than a cage. And then in addition to animal exhibits that you are able, there are paths that are like zoos. There are some incredible attractions. There's Expedition Everest, the incredible roller coaster. There are character experiences. I don't know about you, but I can't meet characters at my zoo. And then Pandora has some of the best, has one of the best attractions in theme parks right now. There's shows, the safari. It's just, Animal Kingdom is one of my favorite parks. It didn't used to be because I used to just be one of those people who ran from attraction to attraction until I did a backstage tour. And when I did a backstage tour and I saw how the zookeepers, the caretakers of the animals, cared for the exhibits and everything, it just absolutely blew my mind and made me fall in love with this park. So I wouldn't skip Animal Kingdom just because you think it's a zoo. The other park I hear people say all the time is skip Epcot. Skip Epcot with kids. It's just for adults. It's an adult park. Well, check out this video. 5 reasons why you shouldn't skip Epcot with kids. It is my almost 4-year-old's favorite park because she loves Frozen Ever After. She loves the seas with Nemo and friends. She loves Imagination with Figment and the Grand Fiesta Tour. More than that, she loves to meet the princesses, and you can meet more princesses in Epcot than in any other park. And there's just a lot of room to explore and play and learn. I mean, the entire reason that I started this business, started planning vacations, and named my company Showcase the World Travel, is because when I was 8, I went to Walt Disney World and I went to Epcot, and I fell in love with the countries, and it inspired a sense of wanderlust that then this is my career now, right? So there's so much to do in Epcot. I feel like there's more to do in Epcot with younger kids than there is in Hollywood Studios, actually. But that might not be the case for you. You might need something different. That's why it's really important to have someone who is not just good at planning their own trips help you, because they're going to plan the trip that's they usually plan for themselves, but someone who has been doing this so that they get to know their people and plan personalized trips for your family. Another piece of advice I hear all the time is October is the best time to go. There are no crowds. Okay, this piece of advice was really, really good in the 90s. It was great in the 90s. That's when we used to go to Walt Disney World as kids. We would go in October, and there were low crowds. But Disney's marketing team was like, hey, we have low crowds in October. What can we do? And then they started introducing things like the Food and Wine Festival, like the Halloween party. And now October is one of the busiest times to go. You have Christmas, you have spring break, and then you have October. So October is wonderful. You can do some incredible things, but it's not going to be the least busy time. Get all of your souvenirs at Disney Springs. That's one of the things I hear all the time. Oh, we'll just get our souvenirs on our Disney Springs day. You can't always come back and get it later. There's some merchandise that is not available in Disney Springs. There's some merchandise that is not available outside of the shop that you see it in. Sometimes it's just exclusive to that one spot. And even if you're like, hey, I'm going to go enjoy my day and then come back to it later, it may not be there because there are limited quantities of things. So there's no guarantee. Get it if there's something you love, get it when you see it. Hopefully, Disney will bring back its resort delivery service. It is paused right now. You can have purchases sent to the front of the park, but you cannot have them sent to your resort right now. You can also have them sent directly to your home. So if your concern is that you don't want to carry it throughout the day, you do have options. Right now, I would say send it home, but when the resort drop-off comes back, you can do that as well. Oh my goodness, one of the other pieces of advice I hear, or something someone will say to me, is I'm going to just buy my park tickets through XYZ because it's a little bit cheaper. I have heard horror stories. Yes, it might sound so appealing to save $100 or $200 on those expensive park tickets, but let me tell you, it is not worth it because a lot of those ticket brokers are going to sell you used tickets, or they're going to sell you something that is not what you actually purchased. And I've heard horror stories, and so $100 is not worth the headache of not being able to get in the parks. So please, please, please buy your park tickets directly through Disney, or if you're military, there is an exception there, or through a certified travel advisor. Okay, another piece of advice. Wait till they remember it. Well, when is that? When's that going to be? When is the right time for you to bring your kids? No one can tell you the right time to bring your kids. Only you know the right time to bring your kids. It is so magical when they are young. My daughter she went for her first time for her first birthday. She went at 2.5, and she's gone 3 times at the age of 3. People think that there's not a lot for young kids to do, but there's more attractions without height requirements than with. And watching those reactions, meeting characters, seeing your 15-month-old clap along to It's a Small World is so fun and so rewarding. And it's not to say that they're not going to remember it, because it got us through COVID. Essentially, we made a photo book of our first trip to Walt Disney World, which was in December 2019, and my 1-year-old would flip through the book and tell me who was there, what she went on, who she saw. And now she's almost 4, and she'll plan our days. We're going to do this first, and then we're going to do this, Mama, and I don't want to go on this ride this time. And so she certainly remembers it. And it's so special to see the kids at that age believing in the magic, believing that they're meeting Mickey Mouse, believing that they're meeting a princess and not just a character. It's so special. If it's a once-in-a-lifetime trip, maybe it makes sense to wait a little bit longer than you normally would have. If it's a once in a while trip, I think doing, right before that 3 mark, when they're still free, again at 5 or 6, and then again at 10 to 12, so they're able to do all those thrill attractions, are really good times to go. That's just my blanket recommendation. Obviously, if you've been watching this video, you know I'm not all about blanket recommendations. I'm all about getting to know you and your kids and understanding when the best time for them to go is. So if that's something that you want to discuss, let's get on a phone call. Let me get to know you and your family, and then myself or one of my agents will help you plan a trip that's perfectly customized for you. Okay, on the flip side of that, Disney is just for kids. There's so much to do at Walt Disney World for adults, not just drinking around the world. There's fishing, there's golfing, there's spas, there's something called Sangria University. There are lounge crawls where you can do a monorail progressive dinner that you put together yourself, or you can go to the different lounges and have a drink at each of the monorail resorts, or Disney Springs, or each of the Epcot resorts, or just enjoy time by the pool. There's so much. Or the attractions. You don't have to be a kid to enjoy the attractions. You can be a kid at heart, and so don't let anyone tell you that Disney is just for kids. One of my favorite experiences at Walt Disney World is actually an 18+ experience. It's called Savor the Savannah. It's at Animal Kingdom, and it is basically a private safari. You get to spend an hour on the safari. So the usually 30-minute ride that you're going through quickly, you get to stop. You get to get a little bit up close closer to the animals. You get to speak to some of the zookeepers, but the piece de resistance is the dinner you're going to experience up on the boma. The boma is the platform in the middle of the savannah where you can see the elephants, you can see the giraffes, and you can see the lions out in the back. And so it's a really, really incredible experience that is 18+. So Disney is not just for kids, and there's so much to do, and it's so much fun. The other thing that I see a lot in Disney planning groups is you can totally plan it yourself. There's a lot of information on the Disney site. There is a lot of information on the Disney site. It's going to take you hours and hours and hours to sift through the information on the Disney site. The information on the Disney site is not personalized to you. The information on the Disney site does not help you navigate what's going to be the best out of the 170 restaurants for you. So yes, you can plan it yourself, but you are going to spend an average of 40 hours planning your Disney vacation, and you might miss something, or you might go through experiences that other people told you what to do and is not personalized to your family. So you can do it, but you're going to have a much better experience if you have a professional help you. Not a friend, not someone who does it on the side, not someone who's like, oh, I've been 4 times, let me help you. A professional who is going to get to know you and your family. How do you know you're working with the right person? Well, have a phone call with them, and if they're asking you questions about what your family likes, what your family dislikes, if you could go anywhere in the world, where would it be? They're trying to get to know you. If they're asking you, when do you want to go? Where do you want to stay? What's your budget? And that's obviously everyone has to ask that. But if that's all they're asking, they're not trying to get to know you. So interview a few travel advisors. And I think I did a video on how to make sure you get the best travel advisor. Right there, I do offer complimentary calls where I'm more than happy to see if we are a mutual fit or if you'd be a better fit with somebody on my team, and you can schedule that call below. We would love to help you plan your trip, and we would love to make sure that it is the trip that you are going to most enjoy, because here at Showcase the World, we want to make sure that you're able to take a break from the busy and actually enjoy your vacation for a change. Your Disney vacation should not just be enjoyable for your kids. It should be enjoyable for you as well. So thank you so much for joining me. Hit the bell for more Disney travel planning tips, and don't forget to take a break from the busy.
Need help planning your next family vacation? Visit us at showcasetheworld.com to request a quote or schedule a free vacation consultation. Want more great travel tips? You'll find those there too.